I'm yours looking to read your name for Vampire Girl 2, Chapter 18. You are now playing as Fenris, Prince of War. You don't want to leave, but as you make your way through the outskirts of the castle's grounds, you know the time has come. Asher waits in the open field, and the two of you walk towards the Mjagger Woods where your soldiers wait. Only a small expanse of trees were left untouched by Riku's flames, barely enough to house the surviving wildlife, and far too precious to cut down for repairs. Ready? As ready as I can be. Your brother nods, keeping pace alongside you. Baron trots along at your other side, ears perked as if already on alert. Any news? Messenger came with traveling news. He said the Fae have breached the Great Wall and are gathering north, near the Outlands. And our brothers? Waiting with their troops. He points and you see them far ahead. They gather among the remaining trees, and the sounds of their preparations carry on the wind. Asher, I need to ask. Never mind. Nothing. If you're wondering whether or not I'd take care of Ari should you perish, you need not worry. Let's be honest, Finn, if any of us die during this, it won't be the Prince of War. You try to force a smile, but the thought of losing Asher is just as painful as the thought of leaving Ari alone. The two of you fall silent as you approach your gathered brothers. Levi, Neem, Dean, and Zeb all stand ready, waiting for the two of you to arrive. There's an ache in your chest at Ace's absence, but you try to focus on the task at hand. Did you hear about the Great Wall? We should march into the northern woods and cut them off. March on the Fae directly? Not the best plan. No, we must avoid the remaining forests. If they're set on fire, we'll burn alive within them. Along the river, then? You shake your head, remembering for a moment the sight of bodies in Asher's canals. We should stay far from those as well, unless we wish to battle Wadu once more. Water Spirit will no doubt have recovered by now. Where does that leave us, then? The mountains. Asher groans, but he doesn't disagree. Levi seems even less enthused. The mountains will slow us down. If we're caught in the lower ground, we'll be at a disadvantage. That will not happen if the druids think we're elsewhere. A diversion? You nod, already formulating a plan. All the Fae on our side are just as likely to betray us as to defend us. But the Shades, half Fae, half vampire, know that it's in their best interest to protect the Inferno. We'll send a Shade we trust, and they will claim to be a deserter. They will tell the druids we are still gathering in town. They won't expect us to be on the move if they think we're still gathering our full forces. Is that really safe? You sigh, thinking of the gutted buildings and half-finished repairs. We've already evacuated, and the repairs on hold wouldn't be a great loss to begin with. Levi looks skeptical and crosses his arms over his chest. Why would the druids listen to a shade from your realm? To them, shades are Fae. The druids have been asleep for hundreds and hundreds of years. They won't realize things have changed. That's where the Fae and Shay who fight with us to protect their homes here. Levi's eyes narrowed with distrust. How can we trust the Shade not to betray us? Well, ask Kayla to do it. She's our sister. She's already gone off to the front lines, hasn't she? We can't wait for her to get a message and ride all the way there. Well, I'll find one of her Shade contacts in town. I saw a man she knows just over there. We won't tell him enough of our plan to put us at risk, even if he does betray us. I agree with Finn. Infiltrating the druids is our best plan. You're surprised Dean would side with you against Levi for once, and it seems to silence any further protests from him. Zeb, Neem, and Asher all nod their agreement as well. Good. then it's decided. You find the young Shade Man among those helping ready the troops and explain his task. He looks nervous, but when you remind him that his actions will help save Princess Ari, his eyes light up. Levy is foolish to worry. My people would never put Ari at risk. Once the Shade leaves, you all send your scouts forward and take the lead ahead of your armies. You march up into the mountains, logging up the stony peaks to take the high ground before the Fae take notice of you. It's a long, hard hike, straining even a vampire's stamina. I wish Ace was with us. He might have had a nice invention to make this miserable climb a bit easier. At the mention of your absent brother, the mood turns from frustration to grief. Levy seems the most affected, and he pats Asher's shoulder as he passes him. You will be with us again soon. For the first time in recent memory, you feel a pang of empathy for Levy. Levy. You're right. Ace will be fine. I'm sure you're just as worried as the rest of us. Don't assume I'm a whimpering sentimental as you are these days. That princess of yours has really tamed you, hasn't she? You were less annoying as a wild beast. You roll your eyes and decide not to snap back at him. Each of you manage your grief in different ways, and Levy likely needs the distraction. We probably rest here for now. Well, your brothers sink to the ground with a groan, stretching their backs and legs as they find a seat on the craggy earth. Zeb pulls wrapped parcels of meats, cheese, and dried fruit from a small pack. 2 bottles follow, both sloshing with deep red liquid. He holds up one and then the other. Wine and blood. I have more in the bag. Pick your poison. Most of your brothers opt for both, mixing them together in the glasses he produces from the seemingly bottomless pack. You should pace yourselves. We have a fierce battle ahead. Eat, drink, and be merry, Fen. Tomorrow might be the end. It's to be a party, then? Have a little drink. Maybe just a little. Zeb cheers and passes you the wine. I hope you have water in that bag. Water is for quitters. Zeb. He laughs and fishes out a canteen to put your mind at ease. How did you fit all this in your pack? Zeb beams and wiggles his fingers at your brother. Magic. You really employ your slaves in the least creative ways. Yes, well, we can't all be immortal deviants. Dean glares at you, but Zeb simply pushes a fresh bottle of wine into his hands. Remember when we were kids and Dean got lost in the Silver Gardens? Your heart aches as he speaks about the old world, but it's a nostalgia for a place you can't even remember. Asher chuckles, nodding along to Zeb's words. He was too busy staring at his reflection in the fountains to pay attention to where he was. Dean was admiring himself and got lost. Sounds like the Prince of Lust I know. Alright, like you all don't reveal your gifts and all the same. Who found him anyway? I did. I was the only one of you half-wits who knew his way around. Zeb laughs and throws a cheese cube at Levy's head. Oh, you found him alright, but you got lost in the process as well. The rest of us had a plan. We were gonna go in after you, but mark our way with coins. Scoff the idea, the prince agreed willingly, throwing his coins onto the ground. You really used your own coins? Asher covered the expense, of course. The best part is when Ace jumped out of the shadows, asked where you'd all been all day. You said you were stuck in the maze, and he asked why you didn't just fly out. Levy manages a small smile at the memory, and a genuine chuckle escapes his lips. Then he hopped into the sky and leaves us behind like idiots. Right. We had wings back then, before we became the Fallen, or so I've heard. Your brothers all laugh, but you can't summon the same vivid memories that they share. Why do I never remember any of this? I've heard the story before, but I can't remember it. Your brothers exchange looks, and Asher shrugs and pats you on the shoulder. Perhaps you were simply too young to remember as we do. Or you're going senile. The wolf of yours will have to run the kingdom. Ooh. As the sun begins to set, you all retreat in your own thoughts, leaving the laughter and merriment to focus on the coming battle. The next morning, your scouts report that they found Fey armies camping near the river. This will be our best chance. We must strike early, while they're still sluggish and off guard. We'll be close to the river. Do we not fear the druid's power so close to her element? We'll be fine. We'll be ready for her. We defeated her before, and we can do it again. But I thought you were worried about an attack. Why go through the mountains if we can take her? You shake your head, explaining before he can become too bitter about the hard climb. That was when we risked an ambush. This is a calculated risk. An attack initiated by us, we may catch them off guard entirely. For once, all your brothers nod in their agreement. You make your way down the mountain and towards the river, moving your way between the surviving trees. You span out in a semicircle, trying to find their sentinels before they can react. Baron prowls low to the ground at your side, teeth bared, as he prepares for the fight ahead. Wait, where is everyone? There are no scouts in the trees, and the sheltered tarps lay abandoned. Levy dashes in and out of the tent, his brow creased in confusion. There's no one. This is what we call a trap, in Apex Legends terms. The others confirm the same, and then you understand. We thought we were so clever, going after them rather than letting them attack the castle. You realize your mistake far too late and mutter a curse under your breath. What's wrong, Finn? Where are they? There's nothing important here. The thing that's most important to them is at Stonehill. I don't understand. Ari. They're going after Ari. Horror dawns on the faces of your brothers. No matter what they may think of Ari, they realize they've left the future queen defenseless. Though none of them realize what she means to the Fae, to have such a hostage could turn the tide of war. What's the plan, Finn? Plan? We finish investigating. There's more here to be seen, and Ari isn't a damsel in distress. Not to rushing off to fetch your dearest. I trust Ari. She has her own strength, and she's a commanding leader in her own right. Asher paces angrily while the rest of you search the area. At first, things seem abandoned, but eventually you find ruins, crystals, and other artifacts. This isn't good, Finn. The Fae are planning something big. It's worse than I thought. We need to move. Finn, there's no time. We won't reach Ari before the druids do. We have to. Hope you all did enjoy it. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. And down in the description below, links to social media, Discord, and a few links to support yours truly. And without further ado, thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Peace!